Good morning. It's a little after 11 UTC, going through a market update and Bitcoin specifically. So, first off, what we have coming out today, we do have some FOMC minutes coming out later tonight. Tomorrow, pre market, we do have like an hour before the market opens. There are initial jobless claims and the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. And then Friday, just some S&P global services stuff and existing home sales after the market opens. But watch these numbers. If they're really off from the forecast, pre market tomorrow, there could be some big movements on Thursday. Going into Bitcoin, long short ratio is plummeting. This is typical. We got over 71% long. Like I said, anything over 65, you start looking for critical mass and basically the final rejection failure. We got the perfect move down back to retest the yearly open, and now the 4 hours looking quite strong. Great. It's amazing what just 12 hours can do. On the funding rate side, funding rates are relatively neutral right now. You've got BitMEX have actually come off of their normal 0.01. Generally speaking, this is good. Bybit's the outlier that's heavily influencing downside still, but everything else is quite neutral. On the liquidity delta for the spot, which is the top chart, and the perpetuals, which is the bottom chart, you do have some local pressure at the local highs. It's not reversing yet. Just if you get some local reversals, you do have spot and perpetuals both trying to stop the local little move. So there's a potential move back down to retest stuff if we don't have the regain of where we're failing. 96.5, that's been the target the last couple days to regain. Going on to the liquidity and liquidation specifically, yeah, we got the big stuff last night. It was awesome. We got the nice big yearly open retest. If we do happen to break now back below 95K, we must target the lows and potentially new lows. Where we are right now is technically a hedge short because we are at a liquidity gap and a potential swing fail off of the 96.5 retest we saw yesterday. Any gain of this 96.5, and we're targeting 99K. The liquidity is too good. You have to target it. The liquidations are good. On the liquidity side, we do have some local orders short stepping in to hold stuff. We saw that on the liquidity delta as well. So there are orders locally to kind of restrict the upside move. This is the last place where we are right now to potentially hedge short to have a retest back into the previous structure we just came from. 95.7, 95K effectively. The loss of 95K is what does trigger a retest back of the lows and potentially lower. But the local stuff looks good. So that being said, looking over at the chart itself, so 4 hour looks amazing. We did the nice big retest yesterday. We had a huge step off last night with a 4 hour bullish engulfing candle off of that yearly open retest, which was beautiful. That has effectively changed a lot of the structure. And if you see the daily open, we're effectively V bottoming off this structure right now. So the big thing here is there are nice short liquidations back at towards 99K. We're at resistance here locally, and we do have resistance above us at 97.5. But these are the key levels. Holding the daily open at 95.6, that's probably going to be the local level that if we lose, we are looking for lower. So not just 95K, but 95.6, that daily open, and the fact there's previous daily open. That's where we would definitely target if we get this local head short failure to come back to retest this stuff, or even locally at the weekly open. The moment you gain 96.5, which has been the critical area for the entire structure here, we've been rejecting it effectively all week through Monday, the open. This is the resistance spot. If we flip this, we must go back up to test the highs at 97.5, and then we target 99K for that awesome short liquidations and liquidity. So the 4 hour looks good. We've got basing structure below us at 94K. We've got another, again, we've bullshit back tested the yearly open, and we've had some really strong 4 hour engulfing candles like this one last night, and then potentially here off the daily open, which is a solid regain to test higher. Looking lower time frame, let's go down to like the 15-minute. This is the final place to potentially hedge a short. I'm a little tentative about it, but if we do start getting the local failure to break back down, we could easily target the lows at 95K. Loss of that daily open does force us to come lower, and then the eventual target would be down here now around 94.1. All of these levels above us, where we are right now, heavy resistance. If we do come back down to the lows, we are looking for a higher low. If we achieve the higher low, then any regain of 96.5 is a potential trend change to go higher. So it's good. We've seen some change of character. We haven't seen a real break of the downside structure. We are at that level now where we want to see that kind of flip. But this is still resistance. This is still the area you're looking at a resistance as a hedge off of the main longs. Right here we are where we are currently. If we have the regain, get out of the bearish mindset. Look for retests that go much higher than expected to grab that liquidity. But until that happens, remember, you're at resistance. You've had a localized downtrend. So it looks good, but we haven't regained the levels we really want to yet. So keep that in mind. This is the hedge short, effectively, to come back down and retest stuff. So that's it. Take it easy. Catch you tomorrow.